and Public Works Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bonnick. Ms. Bonnick is present. Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman. Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman is present. Chairwoman Hughes-Smith.
Here.
Chairwoman Hughes-Smith is present. Mr. Maffucci.
Here.
Mr. Maffucci is present. Ms. McIntyre. Ms. McIntyre is present. Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris is present. Mr. Sinclair. Okay. Mr. Sinclair is not present.
Okay. So we'll begin with just a quick moment of reflection. And what I brought with me today was a book written in 2019 by David Wallace Wells, The Uninhabitable Earth. It is worse, much worse than you think. The slowness of climate change is a fairy tale, perhaps as pernicious as the one that says it isn't happening at all, and comes to us bundled with several others in an anthology of comforting delusions. That global warming is an Arctic saga unfolding remotely, that it is strictly a matter of sea level and coastlines, not an enveloping crisis, sparing no place and leaving no life undeformed. That it is a crisis of the natural world, not the human one. That those two are distinct, and that we live today somehow outside or beyond, or at the very least offended against nature, not inescapably within and literally overwhelmed by it. That wealth can be a shield against the ravages of warming, that the burning of fossil fuels is the price of continued economic growth, that growth and the technology it produces will allow us to engineer our way out of environmental disaster, that there's any analog to the scale or scope of this threat in a long span of human history that might give us confidence in staring it down. None of this is true. Okay, thank you. Public forum. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there is not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing no one, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes of the Environment and Public Works Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral number 25-0228. Acceptance of 3 grants from the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority for clean energy communities to support the purchase of electric vehicles and equipment.
Move it. Second.
Moved by Legislator Bonnick, seconded by Legislator Maffucci. Is there any discussion? Legislator Morris.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you to the administration, are there any specific restrictions on the type of electric equipment or vehicles that these grants can be used for?
Through the chair, we intend to utilize the grant to purchase 3 EV Silverados, as well as 5 utility vehicles, small utility vehicles like Gators, and that has been approved by NYS.
Are these to be, again, Madam Chair, through you to the administration, are these for Department of DES or other departments?
Through the chair, these will be the Silverados will be deployed, 1 Pure Waters, 1 with Weights and Measures, and 1 with Parks. And we selected those because they have high visibility, high usage, and we can really test drive, no pun intended, EV pickups are the first EV pickups that we have in our fleet. And what's unique about the application for Weights and Measures is that the vehicle itself, while it's fueling at an EV fueling station, it can actually use the vehicle to test the EV, calibrate the EV station, charging station itself. So a very unique application for Weights and Measures, and we think it'll prove very successful. The utility vehicles will be used by Parks and will be charged, we think, primarily at the zoo, but they could be deployed elsewhere.
And then again, Madam Chair, through you to the administration. So is there a centralized charging location for these, or are they also spread around based on where these vehicles will be?
Through the chair, the Pure Waters Silverado and the Weights and Measures Silverado will be charged at the Fleet Center. We have charging stations. And then the Parks Silverado will be charged, I believe, at either Highland or Durand Eastman Park, where there's charging stations, depending on where they utilize a vehicle.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Legislator McIntyre.
Through the chair. Sorry, through the chair. Are these matching grants? Because I see that it seems that it's covered 100%, but most of the time when we get grants of this nature, they are to be matched by the town. Is that also the case with these grants here?
Through the chair, this is a zero match grant, so 100% funded grant without local match required.
Okay, well, wonderful. I'm very glad that we got this, and thank you for all. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into grants. So thank you for all your hard work, and I yield.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Yes. Through you, Madam Chair, to the administration, what is the time period for these grants?
Through the chair, we're obligated to expend the grant by December 1st of 2028. We expect to make the purchases by the end of this calendar year.
I yield. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Other matters. So at our last meeting, as other matters, I requested we get monthly updates on the climate action plan. We were working with the administration to get a more effective and a perhaps efficient way to accomplish that. So for now, I will postpone that, and hopefully by next month, we will have a better system set up. Okay, so any other matters? Okay, there being no other matters, the July 21st, 2025 meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee will be held on Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m.
The July 21st, 2025 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is present. Chairman Blankley. Chairman Blankley is present. Mr. Johns. Mr. Johns is present. Mr. Long. Mr. Long is present. Ms. McIntyre. Ms. McIntyre is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there's not.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up for public forum who would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none, the next agenda item is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 25-0232. Authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Churchville-Chili Central School District for reimbursement to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office School Resource Program.
Moved by Legislator Long, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator McIntyre?
Be the same deputy filling the position during the school year, or will it be a rotation of sheriff deputies?
Through the chair, it's the same deputy.
Okay. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Legislator Bartholomew McCoy?
Yes, are we able to look at the, through you, Chair? Are we able to look at the contract, come and look at the contract, should we need to?
Thank you, Legislator. Through me to the administration, or do we have access to, or could we?
Yes.
For the copy of the contract?
Yes.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we can make that available.
Okay, thank you. I yield.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0233. Authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Henrietta Central School District for the purchase of fuel for vehicles of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Long, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator McIntyre?
Through the chair, Why is this intermunicipal agreement 10 cents above the state contract price?
Through the chair, that's what they agreed to sell it to us for.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0240, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the town of Greece for police tactical team cooperation with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator McIntyre.
Through the chair, just for clarity, this referral essentially allows the Greece PD to access SWAT resources and personnel more effectively. Have we understood this correctly?
Through the chair, you're actually looking at it backwards. This is being a county sheriff's office, we have access throughout the county. But the Greece SWAT team, should we actually need their help because of things that are going on in an emergency, they do not have the same authority that we have. So this is so that they can operate outside of Greece.
Okay. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, legislator McIntyre. Is there any further discussion? Thank you. Just to follow up on legislator McIntyre's question, has this happened in the past where we've asked for Greece to support operations outside of the town or any other municipalities?
So right now, Greece, the city, and the county are the only three that actually have a SWAT team. So the city and the Greece already have an agreement. We have not used them currently, but at any time, any event could cause so that we would have to. So this is just really getting ahead of it so that we're not doing it in the emergency in the moment, but actually have an MOU in place ahead of time just to lay out all the ground rules ahead of time.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Legislator Bartholomew McCoy.
Yes, through the chair, do we anticipate any more of these agreements?
Through the chair, currently only the city and Greece have SWAT teams, and we do not have an agreement with the city. So I could see an agreement coming forward with the city at some point.
Thank you. I yield.
Thank you, legislator. And then just to clarify, I think I heard you say this, but this was at the request of Greece PD?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0242, authorizing an intermunicipal agreement with the city of Rochester for support of the Rochester School Bus Safety Program.
Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Legislator McIntyre.
Through the chair, do we expect this additional work for the video review technicians to be feasible in reviewing video surveillance in a timely manner? Or would the city hiring positions for their own video surveillance technicians be recommended? And to clarify, what one of my colleagues was asking is, will this overload those technicians that are already reviewing this material throughout the county? Through you, to the administration.
Through the chair, we currently have two technicians that review video evidence for the school districts that participate in the program currently. They've got some excess capacity. There are some other things that they do for public safety, but they have the ability to take on additional work. Moreover, the contractor that actually runs the technology in this program, a company called Bus Patrol America LLC, has committed to providing a third full-time FTE to reimburse the county for a full-time FTE if it should be necessary and beyond that. I mean, we certainly don't have a crystal ball. We can't see for sure, when the city goes on board, and it's a separate program. The city is a separate program, but the responsibility of the county would be limited. It would just be to review the video evidence that comes in and to deny or approve a violation. All the other rules about the way the program operates would be a city program. It would be the Rochester School Bus Safety Program, separate apart from the counties.
Okay, and through the administration, through the chair to the administration, how many violations are there per day on average to our knowledge? Because one of my colleagues was saying that there are somewhere around 200 violations that happen every day. That just seems astronomical to me. So I would love some little bit. I mean, I understand you guys probably can't give us complete numbers, but I'm asking for an approximate.
You know, I can't, I can't break it down by day, but I can tell you that the program went live with the Hilton Central School District first, November 15th of 2023. And since that time, we've had 12,300 approximately violations since that time. And from Hilton, we've grown to include 4 school districts, and a 5th will be coming on board by the fall.
And through the chair to the administration, just for clarification, that's 12,300 times that someone stopped and with a school bus arm out. That someone did not stop. Yes. That someone did not stop for the school bus arm coming out in a school bus.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator McIntyre. If I could just follow up with a question on that. How many reviews have been done ballpark to get to those 12,300 violations?
Through the chair, about 55%, that's a rough number, of the video that comes in is approved. So about 45% is rejected. And I can explain why that is so. Some of that video shows, envision a stopped bus with an arm extended and the flashers on, and then a car approaching it. Think of it almost like a traffic light situation. If it's yellow while the car begins to pass and then turns red, technically that could be considered a violation. But the county takes, a conservative view so as not to, have it viewed as a gotcha kind of a program. We only issue violations when it's red at the point of intersection between bus and car. So it's clearly a violation. So, it's not a situation where it's gray, well, somebody's halfway past by the time it turns red, because buses are long. It is red at the point of when the car intersects the front or the back of the bus. So from our viewpoint, they are clear violations when we issue those. And those clear violations, that would be that number 12,300 since early June of this year.
Thank you very much. And just to clarify on the language, when you say 55% are approved, does that mean 55% were approved violations, or 55% were found not to be in violation? Sorry.
Through the chair, approximately 55% are approved violations and 45% are denied.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? Legislator McIntyre, yeah.
Through the chair to the administration. It was also said that not everyone pays these tickets when they come in. What is right now the rate of payment that we are seeing on the $200 or $250 violation when it goes out of these 12,300 violations? How many of them have defaulted and not paid?
Through the chair, approximately 25% are not paid as of the current time.
And through the chair, what is the penalty for them not paying these violations?
If the individual, I'm sorry, through the chair, if the individual fails to pay within 30 days, then a $25 additional fine can be assessed, is assessed. There's the process to actually enter a default judgment requires that the individual court actually be involved in that process. So we're looking at ways of addressing that 25% that is not payment, because clearly that is not something we want to see.
So a follow-up question to this through the chair, if these violations are not paid, is this program able to sustain itself if it is sustained, to my understanding, through the payment of these violations?
Through the chair, All I can tell you is that there's still a substantial number of violations. The recidivism rate, the rate at which somebody gets a second or third ticket, is actually quite low. It's about 2.7%, which is good, because it means that once somebody has done it, they don't do it again. Notwithstanding that, there are still a lot of individuals that engage in this behavior and stop school buses when the flashes are on. Maybe one day we will see that number fall.
But through the chair, but my question was more of a fiscal question. My question is, we have proposed this program to the county by saying that it pays for itself. And if people are not paying the violations, is it feasible that it is actually paying for itself, especially if we're asking more people to review this material? That's what this particular IMA is about, through the chair.
Through the chair, under our agreement with the contractor, the county is always made whole for all of its expenses. So the county will never be out the cost of the technicians or all the infrastructure, the systems that go into the buses and the software and all of that. That is all paid by the contractor.
Okay. I yield at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, the July 21st, 25 committee meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will be held Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
2025 meeting of the Planning and Economic Development Committee now comes to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Chardy. Mr. Chardy is present. Mr. Cruz.
Presente.
Mr. Cruz is present. Chairman Frazier.
Present.
Chairman Frazier is present. Ms. Hasman.
Here.
Ms. Hasman is present. Mr. McCabe.
Here.
Mr. McCabe is present.
Welcome to the Monroe County Planning and Economic Development Committee public hearing to approve and adopt proposed additions to the Monroe County Western and Eastern Agricultural Districts and the 8-year review of Monroe County Agricultural District Number 5 and District Number 6. The public hearing is being held to give the public an opportunity to comment on the proposed additions to the districts and the recommendations of the Monroe County Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board. I hope you have signed in at the clerk's office. If not, please do so before you leave. The July 21st, 2025 public hearing before the Monroe County Planning and Economic Development Committee will now come to order. This public hearing is part of the regular Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting. Article 25 AA of the New York State Agricultural and Markets Law allows the county legislature to create agricultural districts. The law then requires the legislature to review each district 8 years after its creation and every 8 years thereafter to see if it is achieving its intended purpose, which is to help conserve and encourage the use of agricultural land for the production of agricultural products. In 2000 and 2003, the New York State Legislature adopted changes to the Cultural and Markets Law that enables the property owners to petition for adding lands to an established agricultural district at a time designated by the county legislature. Previous to this change, property owners wishing to add lands to an agricultural district had to wait until the established 8-year anniversary date to petition the county legislature for action. A public hearing must be held prior to the legislature voting to add partials to agricultural districts. The purpose of the public hearing is to give the public an opportunity to comment on the proposed addition.
A mailing regarding this public hearing was sent to the supervisors, clerks, and landowners of the affected towns and the Commissioner of Agriculture and Markets on July 10th, 2025. Affidavit of publication and posting of hearing notice in the Daily Record on July 14th, 2025, and Rochester Business Journal on July 18th, 2025, have been received and is on file in the clerk's office.
Following the public hearing, the Planning and Economic Development Committee will take action and make a recommendation to the Monroe County Legislature for action at its next meeting, which is scheduled for 6 p.m. on Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. We will now hear public comments regarding the proposed additions to the agricultural district from the audience. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the committee on this subject?
Yes, there is. Okay. Thank you to everyone who has signed up for the public hearing. We ask that everyone maintain decorum during this time. If you require assistance, a deputy is available to assist you in approaching the lectern. I will call one person forward at a time. Each speaker has 2 minutes in which to address the committee. This public hearing is about approving and adopting proposed additions to the Monroe County Western and Eastern Agricultural Districts and the 8-year review of Monroe County Agricultural District Number 5 and District Number 6. Please keep all comments relevant to this topic. Please do not bring up any signs or props. Do not single out any legislator, and please conclude when the buzzer sounds. Thank you for your cooperation. The first speaker is Mr. Jinton.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Cosmo Junta, the Gatestown Supervisor. I am here tonight not to oppose any additions to this, to the Western District 5, but I am here because I feel that there has been an omission to the town, which we have petitioned to get a particular parcel located at, excuse me here, 4254 Lyle Road, that was added to the Western District Parcel 5 back in 2016. Now, this particular parcel, again, was added per the request, I believe, of the homeowner. Unbeknown to us, which in checking with previous administration, town council, the director of public works, the town does not recall being notified of this. With this, you know, like I said, nothing against farmlands, but we do not feel this is a farm. Okay, this has been put in place 8 years ago. We are now here to oppose to this and ask that this be heard and be considered to be removed from the farming district. Again, we were not involved at the time. None of us recall I wasn't here previous administration, but in speaking with previous administration, nobody recalls this being advised. A little background, this parcel was bought in 2012 by this particular individual. Since then, he has believed that he can do whatever he wants on this parcel. This parcel is located right next to our Gates First Responders Park, which was established there decades ago. He came in, started removing wetlands, starting moving dirt, starting causing drainage issues, and since then, we have been trying to fight this. There have been claims from the DEC. DEC is also involved. There are claim numbers opened up since 2016. Prior to him applying to this, he was in code violations with the town. Again, through investigation, whatever, he has never come for a permit, never come for site plan approval. All this was construction. It's not farming. It's construction. He is moving dirt, taking trees down, disturbing the wetlands, and so forth. So we would ask that you reconsider for this. Thank you very much for your time. And I'd invite you to go visit the property. You will see it is not a farmland. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mr. DeCaro.
Thank you. I'm the attorney for the town of Gates. I'm also here to discuss the request the town made to remove that parcel at 4254 Lyle from Agricultural District Number 5. And for the same reasons that the supervisor referenced, I point out to you that first, the parcel is not viable agricultural land as is described by the Agricultural Markets Law. The Agricultural Markets Law discusses what viable agricultural land is, and it uses sales of farm products as an example, that at a minimum of $10,000 per year of sales is the definition. I can assure you, we've never seen any evidence there have been any sales of any agricultural products there because, as Supervisor Genta mentioned, it's not a farm. It's sort of a hobby for the at best for the owner. Secondly, an agricultural use is complete, and this property is completely outside the nature and the character of the rest of the neighborhood and the town itself. Gates is an urban suburb. There hasn't been any farmland in Gates for decades. This property simply doesn't fit in with the character of the town. It's actually inappropriate that it be deemed farmland. Again, as the supervisor mentioned, the parcel's proximity to the Gates Town Park, it presents health and safety risks to users of the park. And another point is, this is the only parcel of land in the town of Gates that's in the agricultural district. This parcel is nowhere near any other parcel of agricultural land in Western District or Agricultural District Number 5. Quite frankly, keeping this parcel in the agricultural district does not serve the purposes. I heard the chairman reference the purposes of the agricultural markets law. This isn't a farm and it should be removed. Thank you.
The final speaker is Wendy Baker.
Hello, my name is Wendy Baker. I'm requesting a retraction of the farmland designation for 15.3 acres located at 4254 Lyle Road in Gates. There's a house located on the property and a portion is designated as DEC wetlands. I own 5 acres along the whole east side of 4254 Lyle Road. I've lived there for 40 years. There's never been farmland there. The owner of 5244, 54 has been cutting, dumping fill, continuously asphalt, rocks, dirt, not topsoil. And he's been filling the wetlands. He's changed the terrain. He's created flooding on my property and therefore the neighbors' properties. He has used farmland designation to negate all town ordinances, including permits for fill, bulldozing up and down on my property line, building a massive chicken coop without permit, which houses more chickens and roosters than allowed in the town ordinance. He uses the property to dump junk and other items from properties that he owns. Mr. Long does not use a tractor. He uses a bulldozer and a bobcat, which has created constant construction next to my house because of the backup beeps. It has been a little bit ridiculous. He has created a very large compost pile, dumping truckloads of vegetables from the city of Rochester's public market and manure. This occasionally stinks, but it also brings skunks and rats. He basically comes over and plays farmer and then leaves because he doesn't live there. Nobody lives on the property. He has cut back and destroyed my trees on my property so that his plants will grow. Mr. Long is not a good steward of the land or of his animals, and I hope that you can reconsider this.
This concludes the public hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed. As stated previously, The Planning and Economic Development Committee will take action on this matter, and it will come before the full legislature at the August 12th, 2025 meeting. Following its adoption, a report and revised district map will be submitted to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets. Next is the public forum. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there's not.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. New business. The next item is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 25-0202, 8-year review of Monroe County Agricultural District Number 5 and District Number 6, and consolidation of Monroe County District Number 6 into District Number 5, forming Monroe County Agricultural District Number 5.
Moved by Legislator Cruz, second by Legislator Hasman. Is there any discussion? Yes, Legislator Chart.
Through the chair, New York State Ag and Markets Law defines what is acceptable parcels to join the agricultural districts. There are 13 different qualifications or 13 different definitions of what is viable farmland in New York State.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Does the, thank you. I didn't have my mic on. Does the administration verify with the property or inspect the property before it designates whether or not a property is part of the agricultural district?
Through the chair, yes. The standard practice is that a due diligence is conducted on every property that is requested to join the agricultural districts. That includes an interview with the landowner, potentially a site visit.
Okay. How about through the chair to the administration, how about going over this with the town? Does the administration review whether or not a parcel qualifies for an agricultural district by meeting with town employees, particularly code enforcement, planning board, or supervisors of the town?
Through the chair, the town is generally consulted on all parcels that are invited into the ag or allowed into the ag district. They also receive public notice at the time the process is conducted.
How about 4254? Was the town supervisor or the town court enforcement employee notified of that district continuing to be with Monroe County agricultural districts?
Through the chair, to the best of my knowledge, yes. I was not here in 2016, so I cannot answer specifically.
Okay, so now we're in 2025, and this property is again being part of the district. So through the chair, was there any discussion here in 2025 with either Mr. Junta or anybody from the town of Gates relative to whether or not this property should continue to be in one of these agricultural districts?
Through the chair, there were multiple conversations with the town of Gates and the Department of Planning and the Monroe County Agricultural and Life Sciences Center about this property and its whether it should be modified from the district.
And ultimately, the conclusion then was that, through the chair again, the conclusion was that the property should remain in the agricultural district. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that is correct.
And why was that?
Through the chair, this property was advised to remain within the district because it meets the definition of viable farm operation and farmland according to the New York State Ag and Markets Law. And the landowner also would like to remain in the district.
Through the chair to the administration, is there a farm? Is there anything growing on this property?
Through the chair, yes.
And what was that? What's on the property? Yeah.
Through the chair, my understanding there are fruits and vegetables growing, including fruit trees.
through the chair to the administration, the agricultural district 6 is removing 131 acres from its parcel, from the parcel. Why does that get removed?
Through the chair, those are parcels that are being requested to be removed by the landowners.
Okay. Were there any parcels through the chair to the administration again, were there any parcels that were removed through the inspection process?
Through the chair, can you repeat your question?
Yes. So you clarified that these properties are inspected, they're reviewed, there's a due diligence that occurs, and ultimately the administration decides whether or not, maybe I got this wrong, but the administration decides whether or not they remain in the agricultural district or are removed from the agricultural district. Were there any that were removed by the administration alone?
Through the chair, slight correction, the proposal to remove or remain parcels in the district is made by the county's Agricultural and Farmland Protection Board and not the administration.
Okay.
To answer your question, all parcels that are being added are at the recommendation of the landowner. All parcels that are being removed are at the recommendation of the landowner as well.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the July 21st, 2025 meeting of the Planning and Economic Development Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Planning and Economic Development Committee will be held on Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 5:45 p.m.
The July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Public Safety Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Burgess. Here. Mr. Burgess is present. Mr. Colby. Here. Mr. Colby is present. Mr. Cruz.
Presente.
Mr. Cruz is present. Ms. DiFlorio. Ms. DiFlorio is present. Mr. Dondorfer. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Ms. Hughes-Smith.
Here.
Ms. Hughes-Smith is present. Chairman Long.
Here.
Chairman Long is present. Mr. Maffucci.
Here.
Mr. Maffucci is present. Mr. Milne.
Present.
Mr. Milne is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons. Ms. Vasquez Simmons is present.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Clerk, is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Oh, is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee this time? You want to give your...
I can. Terry, just before you speak, just so you know the rules, you'll have 2 minutes in which to address the committee. Also, please don't bring up any signs or props and don't single out any legislators. And you will have 2 minutes. Just conclude when the buzzer sounds.
Sandra Doyley was having a hellish Monday. Then at about this time on that afternoon, she spent a half an hour making a long series of horrible decisions. The woman who had spent 32 years forcing other people to take responsibility for their worst decisions, often made on their worst days, has had no one who was both willing and able to provide the same service for her. Her deposition and statement last week make clear that she has spent 15 months in a morass of anger, denial, and bargaining. She said in that deposition that it is time for a change in the office. Present tense, for months ago. The only excuse she gives for not leaving yet is the need for a transition. The last time, 50 years ago, someone involuntarily left the district attorney's office, the voters of Monroe County gave Jack Lazarus less than 2 months to vacate the office. The greatest gift Sandra Doyley could give to herself this week is a one-way ticket to Charleston. And the greatest gift any of you could give to her is telling her so. Thank you and have a good night.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the committee? The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on our agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 25-0232, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Churchville Chi Central School District for reimbursement to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office School Resource Program.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you, sir. Through you to the administration. How is the SRO selected?
Sorry about that. Through the chair, the SRO is selected, they're posted, and then everyone that puts in, we look at where they're coming from, what they've done, and make a selection. And the same one is going to be back there.
The guy's so good he can answer on the fly. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator DiFlorio.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair to the administration, just to follow up with that, do you have someone already selected or in mind for next year's schools? Like
Yes, it's going to be Deputy Gettle again.
the
Same person.
awesome, thank you. And my understanding, he is doing a wonderful job out there and is well regarded by the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we get a ton of feedback, and we're lucky to have Sanborn as the Director of Security, who obviously we have a great relationship with. Through the chair.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Cruz.
Through the chair to the administration, does the Cherryville Chi Center School District or Chi itself have a its own policing entity?
Through the chair, the sheriff's office is the police department for Churchville and Chi.
So they don't, just to clarify on my end, they don't have the equivalent of RPD to Rochester, that Chi does not have a police.
The sheriff's office is the police department. So
All right,
correct.
thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none. Oh, sorry, Legislator Maffucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to explain my vote because I kind of have a very interesting storyline here. In my former life as a superintendent of schools, we had a chance to hire an SRO. And initially I had my doubts, little concerned. Do I want, people to think we have issues in our school, to have somebody walking around the building in a uniform? Well, we did it. And I have to say it was one of the best things we ever did. The number of problems that man solved before they came into the school was fantastic. So I wish Churchville Chi well. I think it's a great move. I'll be voting in favor of it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, is the SRO officer armed?
Through the chair, that is correct. They're in full uniform.
And through you, thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, how long has there been an SRO officer in this particular district?
Through the chair, I believe this is the 7th year of this contract.
And through you, Mr. Chairman, is there just one SRO officer and has it been the same individual for all 7 years?
Through the chair, there is just one, and I do not believe it's been the same person.
Okay, and through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, do we have any data from the school district besides the just positive comments that you've shared? Is there any data we have of what the SRO officer does during the day, what types of incidents they've been involved with, if any?
Through the chair, of course, we track, the SRO does productivity of what goes on in the school and what they're doing.
Thank
That's
you.
probably why Churchville is willing to pay for them still.
I see. Would you be able to share some of that data with us?
Through the chair, sure.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? What's there, DiFlorio?
Thank you. Just to clarify, and I just kind of want to make sure that people understand that this is something that has been requested by the district and is something that is requested by members of the Churchville Child School community.
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you.
Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Sure. I mean, just since the other legislator brought that up, what was the outreach to the Churchville Child community like in deciding they wanted a SRO officer? I mean, this was going on for several years though, but since you raised it as something that they're requesting, is there any evidence of community members that are opposed to this?
Through the chair, we have not heard of anyone opposed to this. I would say that I was a school resource officer from 2001 to 2006. And the impact that you have in the school and the difference that you make in the school is incredible, both with the school community and the home community. I think throughout the country, SROs are used and the advantages of SROs are known throughout the country. So they took that into account and they wanted someone at their school.
Are you all set, Legislator Cruz?
Yes, as a follow-up to the comments through the chair to the administration, then can any school district make the same request from the sheriff's department?
Through the chair, every school district has the opportunity to pay for an SRO in their school. That is correct.
Thank you.
Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration. So of the many dozens of school districts we have in the county, how many have SRO officers have made that request?
Through the chair, currently the only two are BOCES and Churchville. In the past, Wheatland has, but currently BOCES and Churchville.
Thank you. It seems to me that lots of districts have chosen to go a different way. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or discussion? Legislator Smith. Legislator DiFlorio. Hey, real quick, Under Sheriff Brown. So your comment, your response was about the sheriff's department.
That is a great point. Through the chair, it is only for the jurisdiction that the sheriff's office is in charge of. So I know Greece has some, I believe, in Brockport. So it's only for where we patrol.
Okay. Legislator DiFlorio.
Thank you. And I just wanted to speak on behalf of the constituents in my district. My district includes a significant portion of the Churchville Child School District. I attended a public meeting, a couple of public meetings in the district, probably, I'm not sure exactly the number of years ago, but I'm guessing it was probably close to being around the time when the decision was made to hire the SRO officer. And there were significant safety concerns in the country at the time. And different school districts were searching for different ways to handle the concerns. And this was the route that Churchville Child, I believe, chose during that time. And to the administration's point, it has been significantly well received by the community. And I've never heard anything but positive comments with regard to that officer. So it is not considered or seen as a threat. My kids spoke highly when they were in attendance there and looked at that person as a mentor and someone to look up to. So thank you. I will be voting in the affirmative.
Any other questions or comments? Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Thank you. I guess I will also explain my vote as a mother of 5 kids who have all attended public schools, as an educator who's worked for, more than a couple of decades, also in some public high schools. I have been very fortunate to work in excellent school districts that choose not to use SRO officers and have chosen to use some other types of security officers whom, yes, my kids have acknowledged interesting relationships with some of those security officers. Some kids do really enjoy having them present. Personally, I am uncomfortable with having armed folks in school, so I will be voting no, as there's a lot of data that over the years called the school to prison pipeline, and without having a thorough analysis of how things may have evolved over the years with relationship to the way justice is looked at through various racial lenses, I would be uncomfortable putting our students in a situation that makes things more difficult for them. Thank you.
Are there questions or discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Okay. 10-1. Referral passes.
All right. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0233, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the Rush Henrietta Central School District for the purchase of fuel for vehicles of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Maffucci, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0234, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services pursuant to raise the age legislation.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Maffucci, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Legislator Smith.
Thank you, Chairman. Through you to the administration, could we be provided with the Office of Probation's comprehensive plan?
Through the chair, Christine Durante for probation. Yes, I just forwarded that plan to council today, and I believe they are going to forward it.
Great, thank you so much. Through the chair to the administration, how effective has Raise the Age been here in Monroe County?
Through the chair, that's a very broad question, and I guess it depends on who you ask. If you're specifically asking if Raise the Age has worked in the respect that it is supposed to by arresting 16 and 17-year-olds for felonies and then assessing them for appropriateness to stay in youth part, and if they're not appropriate to stay in youth part, to remove them to family court, then it is working here in Monroe County. If you would like more specific information, I can do that as well.
That would be great. As a follow-up question through the chair to the administration. So just looking for how many youths have been served, how many are reoffenders versus the first-time offenders? And then could you also provide us with the previous year's data for the same information?
Through the chair, if you actually send that via email, I can get that information for you. I will caution that sometimes recidivism rates are difficult to determine based on the fact that Raise the Age legislation factors in removing cases to family court, which then affords kids diversion, which then seals their record. So if they get arrested later on after they're 18, we would not be able to talk about recidivism.
All right, thank you so much. And then one last question through the chair to the administration. The referral states that there is juvenile placement for, quote, young people who present a risk to public safety. In practice, what offenses would be deemed to present a risk to public safety? And how are the juveniles placed in facilities under Raise the Age? And how many juveniles are placed?
Through the chair, every individual is assessed on an individual basis. So their crime, there's different levels of felony crimes that we consider violent felony offenses, which in and of themselves are a risk to public safety. And then there are youth or young adults who commit multiple offenses. So again, it's individualized. To speak to how many Raise the Age youth are currently in facilities, that would be data that the Office of Children and Family Services would hold. And it's not something that I would have available to me right now.
All right. Thank you so much. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator DiFlorio.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, just to clarify the comment that legislator Smith just read, goes on to say, and create therapeutic out-of-home placement settings for young people. So are there two different facilities, or are there multiple facilities? One for the young people that present a risk to public safety, and a separate facility that is or are therapeutic out of home placement settings for youth that do not present a risk?
Through the chair, I recognize that my answers are sometimes a little non-responsive. However, because it is individualized, Raise the Age, there are Raise the Age facilities that house just adolescent offenders, sections of Raise the Age facilities. Every child that is placed outside of their home, every youth, they go through a stringent assessment process. They are offered community resources first, probation generally, and then they are assessed. If they're not successful in community supervision, a judge would place them outside of their home. Judges, if we're talking about youth that are adjudicated adolescent offenders, they would go to an OCFS, an Office of Children and Family Services secure facility. If it is a youth that started off as a Raise the Age youth and then was removed to family court, they have the option of possibly going to a private facility under DHS care or Office of Children and Family Services secure facility. So all of those facilities are intended to have therapeutic interventions. Some are less secure than others.
Thank you. So just so I'm clear, the secure facility that we're talking about is the one secure facility that we have. Correct? I just want to make sure that there aren't additional secure facilities that I'm not aware of.
Through the chair. So our facility is Monroe County Children's Center, and again, run by the Department of Human Services, is a local facility. It is not intended as a long-term placement facility for any youth that is adjudicated and then sent to placement. If they are adjudicated and sent to placement, then they would go to the OCFS run facility. It's like jail and prison, if I can.
Sure.
So there's a local aspect, and then they would be sent on for a long-term care at an OCFS facility.
And thank you. I'm sorry if I'm just being dumb here, but where is the secure OCF facility that you're referring to? Because I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding what facilities are which.
Yeah. So OCFS has several secure facilities across the state. Industry is one of the local facilities that's across the street from our Monroe County Children's Detention Center. However, there are several across the state.
Thank you. That's, I guess, what I was trying to distinguish mentally. So thank you so much for that. And then what would be an example of the therapeutic out-of-home placement for the young people who do not present a risk? Are those, and even if you, one example, just again, so I can kind of have a
sure
frame of reference.
Through the chair, we work to use least restrictive interventions with all youth, even when it comes to placement, especially youth that are going through family court. So it ranges from therapeutic foster care to more intensive, non-secure facilities. For example, Hillside, or what we used to know as the Villa of Hope, used to have beds available to us. So there's all different facilities like that across the state.
Thank you. And so just one last question, I'm sorry. So those, like Hillside is an example of a non-secure facility versus the detention center, which is secure.
Through the chair, yes.
Thank you so much for clarifying all of that for me. It's a lot and it gets confusing. So thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Cruz.
Through the chair to the administration, would the, when I hear or read the increase of staff resources and specialized training, would this mean also the increasement of possibly psychologists or therapists, better access to these type of staff to the youth?
Through the chair, can you repeat the question again, please?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
when I'm reading increase of staff resources and things like specialized training, expanded community programs and services, would part of those services include therapists and psychologists, or the increase of thereof?
Through the chair, yes, absolutely. Specialized training includes specialized training for probation officers to be trained in cognitive behavioral interventions, as well as contracting with specialized therapists, sometimes to work with youth with problematic sexual behaviors or other types of specific populations.
Through the chair to the administration, do they have like a weekly, monthly access to talk to a therapist or things like that? Or how does that go? Or do we know?
Through the chair, a part of probation's charge is to help all youth and families eliminate obstacles to whatever their needs are. And if it is therapy, then we work with them to have an adequate assessment and then try to have them meet with their therapist if that's what's deemed necessary, as often as the therapist thinks is necessary.
All right, thank you. Yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Colby.
Thank you. Through the chair, how much of this funding has Monroe County accepted to raise the age since it was implemented? It's
Through the chair, I'd have to get back to you on that figure.
okay. And the other question is, and I think Smith asked it, but to clarify, how many youth are at least screened initially for this programming? So in other words, I'm trying to figure out how much does it cost per youth being screened?
Through the chair, raise the age funding is less of a specific program and more to help the county deal with the raise the age legislation change, in which overall the criminal responsibility was lowered. The age for criminal responsibility was heightened, raised, sorry, that's raised the age, from 16 to 18. So this money is to help us fund programs, different programs, and officers and whatever is needed to help the community deal with some of the youth that are in our community as a result of this legislation.
Okay, I might ask it differently, but we'll send it over to you. But could you at least get the funding per year that has been sent to us through this legislation? And it's a year by year funding, I believe. Is that correct, through Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, yes, absolutely, we can do that.
Thank you.
Other questions or discussion? Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Yeah, thanks you, Mr. Chairman. Through to the administration, I'm just listening to my colleagues' questions. It made me wonder if we have data on how many young people have been diverted away from the adult jail to more appropriate settings, and if we have any data on potential savings, financial savings, there must have been some cost involved with having young people in adult settings? And is there any financial savings that we are experiencing as a result of shifting those young people away from that adult facility? Just curious. Thanks.
Through the chair, I think we would have to get back to you on any fiscal savings that were happening, but keeping kids in the community, if we are able to do it safely, is less expensive.
Thank you. Appreciate the answer, and I yield the floor.
Anybody else? Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0235, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for the District Attorney's Office, the Office of the Sheriff, and the Department of Public Safety, Office of Probation, Community Corrections for the statewide targeted reductions in intimate partner violence initiative.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0238, amend Resolution 74 of 2022 to accept additional funding from the New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services and extend the time period for the Upstate Family Defense Quality Improvement and Caseload Reduction Grant.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0239, authorize change of classification in the sheriff's table of organization of one full-time officer wellness clinician and to two part-time wellness clinicians.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0240, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Greece for police tactical team cooperation with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed?
Opposed? 10-1. Referral passes.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0241, authorize the creation of a radiological and chemical officer in the Department of Public Safety.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Maffucci, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any questions or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, can you describe this position in further detail? And is there anyone currently carrying out these duties?
Through the chair, currently position is being filled by a contractor and has been for the last 2 budget years. The last time we had this position officially filled was back in 2019. That person retired from county employ, and since then, 2022, we've had a contractor filling the position.
Thank you. And through the chair to the administration, do you have a candidate in mind for this position? It seems like a very specific position that would need to be filled.
We do not have a specific candidate in mind, but we are aware of several people who do have the qualifications in county employ, as well as people who we've worked with in the scope of the radiological position today, but no one specific right now.
Beautiful. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Legislator Hughes-Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, does our Department of Environmental Health already have staff that performs this same type of role?
Through the chair specifically, no.
Okay. And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, the state and federal mandates, have these been in place for a long time? Are they new mandates?
The mandates that have put in place as us being a radiological county have been in place for decades. Many of them more stringent since 3 Mile Island. The funding source, again, is federal funds passed through by New York State that funds all of our radiological efforts, including would be funding this effort.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, and at the present time, is the funding still coming from the federal government for these positions?
Directly, it comes to the state of New York that collects fees from the power plant operators in New York State, and then those funds are then reallocated to each radiological county. And since we are part of the radiological response for Gannett, we receive our dollars directly through New York State, who collects the funds from the operators.
So just to clarify through you, Mr. Chairman's administration, there are federal mandates, but it's state funding through fees to power plant operators that's funding the program.
Yes, through the chair, that is correct.
Great, thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, why are we seeking to have an officer as opposed to continuing to have a contractor at this particular time?
At this particular time, our contractor, who is a former employee of RG&E and has worked in the industry for years, has declared to us his intent not to extend under contract terms in 2026. Therefore, we're trying to get out this year to try to get the position filled and try to at least capture several months with the contractor to allow the new candidate at least to get the lay of the land, as it were, before taking over the position next year.
Great, thank you very much. I yield the floor.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0242, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the city of Rochester for support of the Rochester School Bus Safety Program.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by legislator Maffucci, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any question or discussion? Legislator Dondorfer.
Thank you. Sorry, I'll be brief. Through you to the administration, why isn't the RPD doing this, and why is the sheriff's department doing it?
Through the chair, the Department of Public Safety has been in contact with the city of Rochester. The county's program has been in operation since November of 2023. The city was very interested, since this is a relatively new program in New York State, the school bus safety program. And given the county's experience with the program, the city was very interested in learning about how the county operates the program and was looking to replicate it as best possible. Since a technician that is reviewing video evidence, whether it be, say, in East Arundecoit or in the city, they don't know, an individual driver doesn't know whether, when they're passing from one jurisdiction into another. From a public safety perspective, we thought it would be prudent to have the same technicians reviewing that same evidence. So when somebody passes that artificial boundary from one to another, those rules are being applied in a similar or the same way. So from a public safety perspective, we thought that was prudent. The city was interested in it, so they wouldn't have to go through a process of hiring people. We have some excess capacity. We have 2 full-time people which are available for that spend some of their time doing some other things, but that we have capacity now. And the contractor that manages the program, a company called Bus Patrol America LLC, they've advised, since we don't have a crystal ball, we can't say for sure, what the city's program will bring on board for our technicians if this body approves it. They've agreed to allow the county to hire additional technicians at their expense to cover that program as it grows.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Legislator Colby.
So let me understand this correctly. The technicians are the ones that issue the ticket if they think it's warranted, through you, Mr. Chairman. Want me to repeat that?
Yes, please.
The technicians, are they police officers through you, Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, they are not. They are public safety employees, and the statute allows for the county to select the technicians that will review the evidence. They need not be police officers.
Is that what, when they passed the state legislation, they included that apparently through you, Mr. Chairman?
Through the chair, yes.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other items to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Public Safety Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Public Safety Committee will be held on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m.
Good evening once again. I would like to call this joint meeting of the Recreation, Education, and Ways and Means Committees to order. The purpose of this joint meeting is to hold a public hearing on the 2025-2026 operating budget for Monroe Community College. We will then proceed with the agenda items that have been assigned to both the Recreation and Education Committee and the Ways and Means Committee. When the Recreation and Education Committee's items are finished, that committee will adjourn and we will complete the remainder of the Ways and Means Committee agenda.
Will the clerk please call the roll for the Recreation and Education Committee?
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is excused. Chairman Baynes?
Here.
Chairman Baynes is present. Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman? Ms. Delvecchio Hoffman is present. Ms. Hasman? Ms. Hasman is present. Mr. Johns? Mr. Johns is present. Mr. McCabe is excused. Mr. Sinclair is excused. And President Román is present.
Will the clerk please read the roll for the Ways and Means Committee?
Ms. Barnhart.
Here.
Ms. Barnhart is present. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is excused. Mr. Baynes. Mr. Baynes is present. Mr. Brew. Mr. Brew is present. Mr. Colby. Mr. Colby is present. Mr. Dondorfer. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Mr. Keller. Mr. Keller is present. Chairman Maffucci.
Here.
Chairman Maffucci is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons. Ms. Vasquez Simmons is present. Mr. Udelson. Mr. Udelson is present. And President Román. President Román is present.
Will Legislator Vasquez Simmons please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're delighted to invite at this time the delegation from Monroe Community College, led by our esteemed president, Dr. Deanna Bertnana, and her team to come forward and present the operating budget for 2025-2026.
Thank you and good evening. I give recognition to Legislator President Román, Chair Maffucci, and Chair Baynes. We thank you so much to all of the members of the Recreation and Education Committee and the Ways and Means Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight, and thank you to our county executive as well, Adam Bello, for his ongoing support of Monroe Community College. I also want to recognize in the audience with us today is Trustee Dale Rakoff, who is in attendance at the rear, and my colleagues from our budget office, Interim Vice President Daryl Jacob Moore and Victoria Bowes. For those who are meeting for the first time, I'm Dr. Deanna Bertnana, proud president of the Monroe Community College, and I'm so pleased to share how your support of students is helping us to serve more citizens of Monroe County. Since MCC opened its doors in 1962, we've helped over 580,000 students. Most of our students, about 78%, are right here in Monroe County Today, we offer more than 100 programs to prepare students for careers and further education. Our goal is straightforward: to provide people with the opportunity to build a better future. This past May, we graduated our 62nd commencement of over 1,400 students earning degrees, certificates, and micro-credentials. Some are now continuing their education, while others have entered the workforce local here in our community. We're helping to grow our community and our economy. So thank you for your support. We are also planning for the future. In April, we broke ground on our new Advanced Technology Center, or the ATC. We look forward to welcoming you to its grand opening in the fall of 2026. To continue our efforts, MCC respectfully requests a $250,000 increase in Monroe County annual contribution, just 1.2% more than the current year's amount. This support will help us to expand programs like heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC, and solar technology, increase tutoring, and remove financial barriers that can hinder student success. Enrollment and student success remain our top priority. Currently, MCC's enrollment has increased by 3% compared to last year, and we're on track to meet our targets in the future. We expect to serve approximately 24,000 students with around 8,000 full-time equivalent, or FTE, enrolled. Additionally, our 3-year graduation rate is now the highest it has been in 2 decades. Moreover, we have analyzed the wages of our students. We have found that 5 years after graduation, our students' median wage is $51,000, surpassing our aspirational benchmarks of $39,000, which is based on the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, Living Wage Calculator. Lastly, we are glad to share that 1 year after graduation, nearly 90% of our students stay in the state of New York. And 5 years after graduation, approximately 75% of those students remain also in our state. This past year alone, we served more than 23,500 students, mainly from Monroe County. Our students achieved a 100% certification exam pass rate in several of our healthcare programs. We provided free dental cleanings for local children, and including those that are in foster care. Our annual Scholars Day highlighted over 100 student researchers. We awarded nearly $2 million in scholarships through our MCC Foundation. We introduced automated food lockers and received top ratings from FoodLink for our food pantries. This allows us to expand student access to food beyond the traditional pantry hours. Our nursing program ranks among the top programs, not only in our state, but in the nation. Our public safety team received national recognition and reaccreditation, one of only 2 campuses, security departments in the entire state. And almost 2/3 of our students graduate debt-free. MCC is aligning its programs with the actual needs of the workforce. 10 years ago, over 40% of students were enrolled in general studies programs. Today, it's only 16%, meaning students are opting for focused programs that directly lead to a career and living wage. For example, enrollment in our optics and photonics program has increased by nearly 2,500% since 2015. Precision machining has risen by more than 16%. Health-related fields are experiencing nearly 30% growth, including increases in dental hygiene, nursing, and health studies. National groups are recognizing our progress at MCC. MCC was one of only 10 colleges in the nation and the only college chosen in the state of New York by competitive selection to collaborate with the Aspen Institute and the Community College Research Center as part of an inaugural Unlocking Opportunity Network. We're proud of this achievement and it's changing our students' lives. Let me briefly discuss our budget. Our proposed 2025-26 operating budget is $120.6 million, representing a 3% increase over the current year's budget. And this reflects contract cost, increases in healthcare and pension benefits, and increasing costs for equipment and services. We're asking students to pay a modest $150 increase in annual tuition, bringing full-time tuition to $5,200. This change is supported by our student government, which represents the voices of our students. MCC continues to offer some of the most affordable in-state tuition in both the Finger Lakes region as well as the State University of New York system. We anticipate receiving about $30 million from the state. Respectfully, we are also requested a $21.6 million county contribution, which includes $250,000 increase. These funds are crucial for maintaining affordable tuition and preserving the quality of our programs. I would be remiss if I did not mention our challenges. While enrollment is increasing, again, we continue to cope with rising costs and evolving student needs. Many of our students depend on programs like SNAP and Medicaid for their food and healthcare. Nearly 2,000 of them may be impacted by recent federal changes to these programs. Moreover, the federal government is currently working on its budget. Proposed funding cuts to healthcare, student jobs, and emergency grants have created some uncertainty for us. These programs are essential as many of our students face significant challenges, including food insecurity and childcare costs, the rising cost of textbooks, housing, and other essential living expenses. We're doing our best to make every dollar go as far as possible via our emergency grant program called MCC Assist, as well as scholarships and other programs. However, flat funding from the state combined with those rising costs due to inflation and contract obligations means we must remain resourceful. Still, student needs are increasing, whether it's help with food, books, housing, or childcare. In closing, I want to thank you once again, as well as our trustee, John Baynes. Thank you so much for your service. As we lead from within, strengthening our foundation and positioning ourselves for the future, we do so with a shared commitment to excellence and service to the people, the citizens you represent across Monroe County. Together as one, we are building a strong and promising future. So on behalf of the students, the administration, the faculty, the staff, and our trustees, we thank you for reviewing our proposed budget. Your support has a lasting impact, and we are sincerely grateful. At this time, my colleagues and I would welcome any questions you may have. Thank you so much.
We may have some questions at the time when the budget is motioned. And we know that you can stick around for a few minutes. But,
Thank you very much.
Dr. Deanna Burtonana, I want to thank you for your very data-driven presentation and for all the documents you provided to us. I assume the lack of questions is because of the transparency and clarity of all of the materials we've received. So we appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you.
What my colleague just said. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will now hold a public hearing on the approval of Monroe Community College's 2025-2026 operating budget. Is there anyone signed up to speak in regards to the public hearing on the MCC budget?
No one is registered for this public hearing.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in regards to the public hearing on the MCC budget? There being none, I declare the public hearing closed.
Are there any speakers signed up to address either committee this evening?
There is not.
Is there anyone here who would like to address either committee at this time? There being none, I declare the public forum closed.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Members of the Recreation and Education Committee, you have the minutes from the May 19th, 2025 meeting before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day.
Members of the Ways and Means Committee, you have the minutes from the June 23rd, 2025 meeting before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day.
The next item on the agenda is new business. Legislators, please note the asterisk and italicized print in your agenda for items requiring action by both committees. Mr. Clerk, please read the item to be considered by both committees.
Referral 25-0229, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for the Snowmobile Trails Grant and Aid Program and authorized contracts with the Hilton Snow Flyers, Webster Ridge Runner Snowmobile Club, Salmon Creek Snowmobile Club, and Hill and Gully Riders for the development and maintenance of trails.
Moved by Majority Leader Udelson and seconded by Vice President Mercedes Vasquez Simmons. Is there any discussion?
Oh, hang on. It's got to be moved by a member of the rec.
Oh, yeah, jumping ahead, sorry.
Got to do it twice. That was moved by Legislator Hasman. Okay, seconded by Legislator Delvecchio Hoffman.
Okay, I think it comes back to me.
Well, now you have to ask for. Oh. Go ahead.
So, Mr. Clerk, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any?
At this time, are there any questions from the members of the Recreation and Education Committee only? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify. These are the members of the Recreation and Education Committee. Signify your vote in favor by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
And now from the Ways and Means Committee. And now from the Ways and Means Committee. Moved by Legislator Udelson, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons and Legislator Smith.
Any discussion?
Any questions from the members of the Ways and Means Committee only? If there are no questions, we will move to a vote. Members of the Ways and Means Committee, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
I think this two-person comedy routine could be a little more fluid. I mean, Abbott and Costello are way better than these two. But I believe the next thing is to the next item.
Yep.
With an asterisk, Mr. Clerk.
Referral 25-0230, authorizing agreements for commercial events to be held in Monroe County Parks in 2025.
Moved by Legislator Hasman, seconded by Legislator Delvecchio Hoffman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by voting aye. Opposed? Item carried.
Go. Do the same thing.
And you got to do the same thing, Howard.
And now we'll proceed with the rest of the Ways. No.
We got to vote on that one.
Yeah, moved by Legislator Udelson, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. That's okay.
Any discussion? No, any discussion?
Any discussion?
I think Majority Leader that in the future we should rehearse a little better.
And and
As a point of disorder, Legislator Colby.
to remind everyone that all discussion should be directed through the chairs.
All right. Have we voted yet?
Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
We have one left where we have to have two separate votes.
Yeah.
Referral 25-0243, approval of Monroe Community College's 2025-2026 operating budget.
Moved by Legislator Hasman, seconded by Legislator Delvecchio Hoffman and Legislator Johns.
Got it.
Discussion. And we have our team from MCC here. So any discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor on the Recreation and Ed Committee of the approval of the MCC operating budget signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carried.
And now from the Ways and Means Committee. Moved by Legislator Udelson, seconded by Legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any discussion? Yes, Legislator Colby.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the tuition is 5,200 and something, I think is what they reported. Is that the same for each program? Because I know like the nursing program costs a lot more than that to put on compared to maybe electric technician. Do they just average it, or do some of the programs have additional fees? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
I think it's true.
Yeah, he's the chairman.
Good question too.
Chair people?
Yeah, through the chair, it's a standard rate. We can't have differential tuition by program. There are some differences in lab fees depending on the major, but the tuition rate is standard across full-time students at the college.
So through you, Mr. Chairman, you make up some of the difference of the cost through the lab fees.
Not really. The lab fees are really they're designed to only reimburse costs, so there's no profit to be made in there in lab fees.
And to you, Mr. Chairman, that's why you limit the number of slots in certain programs, I assume. Is that correct? Through the
That's
chair?
correct. Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, through the chair, if I could further elaborate on the latter part of that question about limiting the slots, that has more to do with the accreditation for the particular programs, and that those particular accrediting bodies establish standards of student ratios for faculty to student ratios. And there's also an element of the clinical placements and so how many locations can students go to do their practice. Fortunately, in the last year or two, the state has also expanded our ability to use other types of automation as options in some particular healthcare disciplines.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions from the members of the Ways and Means Committee? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to a vote. Members of the Ways and Means Committee, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other matters to come before the Recreation and Education Committee? I don't believe there are. There being no other matters, the July 22 meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee will be held on Monday, August 25th at 6.
And now we will proceed. You should see us on the golf course. Now we will proceed with the rest of the Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we consider the rest of the agenda as a whole, with the exception of items number 236 and 237.
Moved by legislator Udelson, seconded by legislator Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item passes. Next item.
Referral 25-0236, erroneous assessments, corrections and cancellations.
Moved by legislator Udelson, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0237, erroneous assessment, refund.
Moved by legislator Udelson, seconded by legislator Vasquez Simmons. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please indicate your support by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? There being no other matters, the July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will be held on Tuesday, August 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Second, 2025 meeting of the Transportation Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bonnick.
Here.
Ms. Bonnick is present. Chairman Burgess.
Here.
Chairman Burgess is present. Mr. Colby. Mr. Colby is present. Ms. DiFlorio.
Here.
Ms. DiFlorio is present. Mr. Frazier.
Here.
Mr. Frazier is present. Ms. Hughes-Smith. Ms. Hughes-Smith is present. Mr. Keller. Mr. Keller is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there's not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? There being none, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 23rd, 2025 minutes of the Transportation Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 25-0231, accept additional funding from the New York State Department of Transportation for the state support consolidated local street and highway improvement program.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Hughes-Smith, seconded by Bonnick. Sorry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Oh, I'm sorry. Any discussion? I'm trying to get it over with. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We only got one.
Through the chair, to the administration, can you tell me, and I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to look it up, what the total amount of CHIPS awards was last year?
Through the chair is approximately $10.8 million.
Thank you. And through the chair to the administration, and I know you always hope, but was this somewhat an anticipated additional allotment, or was this a surprise?
Through the chair, every year we meet with local elected officials to advocate for more funding. And then in early March, we actually all go to Albany and do the same thing in anticipation of convincing them to give us more funding. So it was unexpected.
I'm sorry, it was unexpected or? Okay.
Unexpected.
Thank you. And last question through the chair, do you have a specific project that you're now planning to utilize this additional funding for?
Through the chair, it wasn't a specific project, but we have a listing of roads that we drive each year. And money is just going to be used to extend that list to a couple other additional roads.
Gotcha. Thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? No, Legislator Frazier.
Good afternoon, through you, Chair, to administration. Can we get a copy of the plans that are for this year for the capital for the CHIPS program? Of what projects you're going to be working on for this 25-26?
Through the chair, that list has been sent out previously, with the exception of these new roads that have been added.
Yep. Can we get a copy of the new roads then?
Certainly.
Thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Legislator Bonnet.
Yes, sir. Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration. Does the county already have a plan for how the money is being spent?
Through the chair, in a sense, yes. We try to do the right treatment at the right road at the right time, because doing so keeps them in good shape so that we don't have to spend more money on them to keep them in good shape at a later date.
So have you already identified the bridges and sections of highway that will be undergoing this type of repair?
Through the chair, we have a listing of roads that we're going to drive this fall and then rate them for next year's work.
Okay, so just to piggyback on what my member asked, and so that would include the copy of the targeted area that he requested. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
So Legislator Frazier did ask for a copy of the targeted areas.
Through the chair, yes.
And so would this include the repairs with this funding? Would that
Through-
be part
through
of these areas? Would that be part of the plan?
Through the chair will be a listing of the roads and the proposed treatment on them.
Thank you.
Legislator Colby.
I might as well join the party. Through the chair, don't you work off the annual plan we put together, that's put together every year by the county, the capital improvement plan? Don't you work off of that mostly?
Through the chair, that's a separate program. That's more of the bigger rehabilitations where we add drainage and we add signals, we add signs, we add whatever else is needed to the road. The CHIPS funding is primarily used just for rehabilitation of the surface.
One shot, Mr. Kim. Any other discussion? With there being no other discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other items to come before this committee? Nope. There being no other matters, the July 22nd, 2025 meeting of the Transportation Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Transportation Committee will be held on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m.